So I have no clue why my intro was muted. And Fallout music. Okay. I think I got it. Possibly or not. Let's see. I did not do the anniversary upgrade edition. I could not in good conscience buy that. Okay, game audio is working. Let me actually switch that on over. And it immediately closed the game. It hates me. I possibly got it. Nice. We should be, hypothetically speaking, we should be connected. Why is it still a black screen? Okay. It is doing the weirdness. Okay. I don't know where I ended up last time. And I know, no hour-long yapping. It was a good day, though. I had a really good day at work. I also did my nails today. And by today, I mean I did them like 15 minutes before stream. Oh, shit. That's not good. Oh god, no. Insta-death. I think I lost my leg. Oof. Okay, why am I... And where is Cogsworth? Oh god, no. No. Okay. I never get ammunition. They're almost done. Alright. Next one. Nope. I'm not getting too close to you. You shall not. Okay. What did you drop? Anything decent? No, I hate it here. Okay, no. Gas. Let me check my inventory. Pearl. Boiled leather leg. It's gotta be better than what I currently have, which is absolutely nothing. Let's see. 4, 2... Alright, I'll do that. Perception. I like it. Picasso. Where are they?
Just give up.
Alright, let's see. Pipe, auto, pistol. Ooh. Hi, welcome in. That didn't happen. You didn't just see me die in game.
What was that?
Let me run over here and put on some little bit of, well, where's Codsworth when I need him? I'll take it. Better one? Yes.
Shit.
Yes, you did. Okay.
Over here.
Ow. Let me just... Oh, I can do that. I thought I had more grenades. Molotov cocktail time. I don't think that hit a single one. Get that critical strike. Nice. My aim is garbage. Did I hit him at all? I don't think I did. Let's see. Let me get my... There we go. Got him. Oh, where's Codsworth? Pop out. I'll get you before you get me. Oh, please, thank you. Nice. I think he did. Well, excuse the f out of me. You just shot at me. There's one over there.
Hey. On him.
I hate it.
That guy. Get him.
I'm injured. Need to do something about that. What do I got that I can fix? radiation, it's fine. What do you mean he disliked that? The fact that I took on freaking radiation? How dare? I didn't get a single freaking hit. Nope, I hated that. There's a wall. Woohoo! I'm on fire. Where did Codsworth go? I don't think I have enough health for that. Wait until they casually run out of those. Let me actually get a better vantage point here. Maybe, possibly, if I go higher. Oh, they're just gonna keep shooting the building. How did I get across there? Please don't. I have the high ground. Oh no. He missed. I'm not feeling so good though. What can I do? Crispy squirrel bits. I'll take the cram if you want. I don't know what that means, but alright. I'm yet again injured. I don't need my vantage point anymore. Where's Codsworth? It's down here. They're able to shoot through the window. We're gonna figure this out. Hold on. Do I have a better weapon? 13, that does 12. I have no minigun ammo. Pipe pistol. Short pipe rifle. Tactical pipe pistol. Alright, we're gonna try that one. I hate everything. Why is he... Oh. Let me put that wall there. Where's he at? Why is Codsworth just standing down there? I think I need a better weapon before I go in this area. Oh. We're gonna run and a skip. This just does not seem like a good time. You know what I do want to do though? I do want to take care of this thing. Where was that? tactical. And maybe Molotov. I wonder if I can get him from here. I don't like that he's moving around. I don't like that at all. He was trapped on the... I love how I got a critical shot and I still got practically nothing. Well, that was just a waste of ammo. Is there another way to get across without having to deal with that BS over there? Or that one? Because I feel like if I go that way, I'm going to run straight into that one. And if I go this way, is yuck. If I go further that way, there's super mutants, and I don't have the armor or the weaponry to do that just yet. Let's see. What is this way? Is there another way to, like, access something? Or am I just gonna have to take, like, radiation damage? I just hear rad roaches. Is there something I can cross here? We gonna figure it out. Oh god. Nope. You shall not. No, thank you. Where's your buddy? I heard another one of you. Rat teeth. What? Aw. Laser pistol, sunglasses, and gunner harness. Where's the gunner harness? That gave me absolutely nothing. Let's see about weapon. Bet. This can be a friendly area. Nope, it is not.
What the hell was that?
That was awfully mean. I didn't like that. That was kind of rude.
Hey, I think someone's out there.
Why are you you just gonna throw a grenade at me when I haven't even said 2 words? Please let me be accurate. I wasted every shot!
What?
Damn it! You running it. I went the wrong way. Nope. I have a lot of radiation. Cool! This way. I think. Maybe. Nope. I don't want none. Thanks. I need to get better weapons, but I also need to not run into Oh my god. What is going on? I'm taking radiation damage. That is what is going on. Whatever we need to get to is that way. My spurs are not jingle jangling right now. How close am I to the objective? This is a lot of radiation. Please let me have healables. There is not wrapped in here. Alright. I'll take it. I can mod it. Both sides and no muzzle. Let's see. All right. Anything in here? Alright, what can I drop? I'll drop that. Am I still over encumbered? Yes. Right. We're no longer over encumbered. I think we're supposed to go over there somehow. I thought I just heard rad roaches.
I see it!
Ah, no! Open it! Open it! Open it! Ah, no! That door is shut! I am not inside. Goodbye. I am not in here. You can F right off. It's a plastic pumpkin. What is this? Bowling pins. Wait, I saw something. Okay, leave bowling pin. Where did it go? Did it F off? Am I safe to run away now? I took radiation damage to get killed by a giant irradiated crab. That is some Bolshevik. Where am I at? Am I at least somewhat of the way over there? Maybe? Oh god, I have to go back over here. Never mind. I'm taking a shortcut. Whoa. Please. Go get him. I'm letting him make himself useful. That was my face! I'm gonna need those pack of cigarettes. And frankly, that toothbrush. What? Also, hi, welcome in. Why? Why did the ghoul drop 2 balls? I'm confused and also a little bit concerned. I feel like he's gonna be missing those. Okay, can I sneak through here? Like, do I have to walk back through getting blown up by freaking grenades and shit? Or can I just, you know, not? I would be incredibly appreciative of not getting, you know, explosives to the face. I'm just gonna run through like they didn't see me. Never happened. Oh God, no. Damn it. Go get it. Did it just explode my... No. Okay. Yeah. Well, that was unfortunate. And I'm out of ammo. What are you doing? No.
Hey.
Attack.
On him.
I need a weapon that has... I have no shells. That'll have to do. Ow. Why is he just standing there? What is he doing? Please tell me I have... It's not stupid if it works. Enjoy. Thank you. Can I execute my critical, please? Can I land, like, one hit on him at least? No. I cannot. Fun times. What is that? That is rebar and cement. Alright, I'm making an assumption right now. I know I'm gonna die again, and on my next death, I'm gonna run and get Cheez-Its. I need my emotional support Cheez-Its. Oh, by the way, he went that way. Fuck you. I need a melee. I need a melee. I need a melee. Where's Codsworth? Where's Codsworth when I need him? Where's Codsworth? Can I go in the bookstore without death? Perhaps. Is there anything decent in here? Anything at all? Beer bottle. Probably empty. I'll take it. Enamel bucket. What is it? Oh. We're drinking the glowy soda. It's probably not healthy, but radiation. I think. What is up here? Is there anything up here that I can... I like it. Picasso. It was a good idea to come up here. Let's see, anything else that I can grab? Any better weapons? We're gonna carefully run for our life. Let me break my tracking here for a second. Let's see. I mentioned the Cheez-Its and I got hungry. So I had to figure out my food situation. This loading screen is taking a lot longer than expected. Also, checking in with all platforms. Hi from YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. If I missed your message earlier, I am sorry. I was trying not to die. I know if I get up, the second that I get up to go get the Cheez-Its, it's gonna load. That or my game is crashing. What do we want to bet? I don't know what's going on. I think Fallout's crashing. Maybe not. Oh god, no, 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 no. Ah, no. No, 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 no. Nope, it's not my last one. Definitely, probably not my last one. Please tell me I can go in here. Can I please? Okay. Are there friendlies in here? For the love of all. Are you a good person? Thank you so much for the follow and welcome in.
Time out. Someone steps through the gate the first time.
Why is it telling me to go out that way?
Extortion crap. What do you care?
It's one of the
She ain't one of
ghouls.
Finn, I said let her go.
Well, everything here is guaranteed to injure, maim, or kill at your
Can I have
discretion.
this?
Except me.
For
Kill what I want to.
for research purposes. Do I have anything that I can barter? Let's see. Baseball. Alright. Damage resistance 4. What? I don't have that many cabs. Submachine gun. Should I? The pistols just don't get as much range. Neither do the rifles. Does he have ammo? Now I am broke. I don't think I have the weaponry for super mutants yet. I'm gonna go grab Cheez-Its. We will be right back. My entire kitchen smells like chai. Because I keep on tossing the chai pucks in the garbage. So now it's making my entire kitchen smell like chai. I'm not mad about it. But I was kind of aggy that I didn't have any chai when I smelled chai. What is up here? No one's gonna know. What? I want to talk to him.
Mayor Hancock.
You alright, sister?
I beg his finest pardon.
Or are you actually going to go down and do some work? It's not all about building those chems either. Use it.
What? Where's the fun in...
I'm not supposed to be in this area, I don't think. Maybe we can get back to where we needed to be if I don't die to a crab.
Everyone, gather around. Let's keep the bring back. Shoot the
Hey,
doing your own thing. But I don't want anyone here to forget what matters. Hey, Daisy. Glad you could make it. How's my favorite girl doing? Didn't I see one of these?
It was a glorified Walmart shrimp. Hey, little nation.
Hey. On him.
I'm playing Fallout 4 and dying miserably every 5 seconds. I forgot I was muted. Maybe Fallout is not the vibe. Maybe Fallout is not the vibe. We're gonna change it up. slightly upsetty. We died a lot, but we made like 2 inches of progress. Yeah, I know. And I can't remember where to go to get the things that I need to progress. Let's see. I may just have a yap session. It was good. Work was super fun. We had an event going on at my work, and we had a lot of people there, and that was cool. I also got a lot of t-shirts today. But it was super chill. I thought it would be a lot more hectic than it was. But it was fun. Also, hi, welcome in. Yesterday was interesting. I made a few Fallout jokes to one of my buddies. He was streaming. I can't remember what game he was streaming. So, because of my health issues, they're trying to figure out and like further pinpoint what is causing the problems with my heart and my blood circulation. So I had to go, in which it was funny because the day before, so on the 13th, I had to go for a CT of my chest and an echocardiogram. I had to have contrast run with the CT. I don't know what's in it. It's just the dye thing that is supposed to help them see if anything is wrong. And it's the one that makes you feel like warm all over, and they tell you it makes you feel like you peed your pants. I don't know a more tactful way to put it. That is the way they describe the sensation, and can confirm it literally feels like you are while the contrast is going into your bloodstream. The thing that I had yesterday was an MRA, so they were doing imaging on my head and my neck to see if there was a clot that had moved. Different sensation. The contrast they gave me then was cold instead of warm. Still tasted weird, but the machine was a lot more scary. I had to have like this cage thing over my face and my shoulders so I couldn't move. And they gave me headphones and they asked me like, do you want to listen to music while you're doing the test? I'm like, no. I'm so nervous right now, I don't want to listen to music. I'm afraid that if I listen to music, I won't be able to pay attention to, like, if you tell me, like, I need to move my head or, you know, that the test is done. I swear, somewhere in the middle of it, because that test was, like, 45 minutes long. And I almost, because they hand you this little squeezy ball that's connected to like a little wire so you can let the tech know like, hey, something's either wrong or I'm feeling claustrophobic. I am not a claustrophobic person. I'm not. I'm small. I fit in small areas. Like, I am A+ at freaking hide and seek. I was claustrophobic as fuck in this machine. And I don't know if it was just the fact that there was like the cage over my head and like the loud like banging, knocking sounds on the machine. Because it's the loud one that like does all like the weird like noises. I was uncomfy. I was extremely uncomfy, and I was paranoid because I have a septum piercing. I've never had an issue with it anytime I've gotten imaging. I don't know if it's because of the that most recent Final Destination where the dude is like getting all of his piercings ripped out, that just my brain now instantly is like, I'm not gonna know if it starts coming out. Like, I'm just gonna like get all sneezy and my nose is gonna feel warm and then it's gonna just rip out my face. But and I can't take it out easily. I have to have like 2 kind of like jewelry pliers to open my septum. Like, I specifically have it like where it's locked, where it won't like come out easy. But because it's the clicker type. But I went to my appointment and everything, and I was like, I can't take this out. What do I do? Like, do we need to tape it? Like, are there any like medical like forceps or anything that you can use to take this off my nose? And they're like, hold on, let me check this real quick, because I also have a permanent metal retainer on the top and bottom teeth. I did like Delilah lore, IRL lore. I had braces when I was in middle school. Like from 7th to, I want to say 10th grade. So like more like middle of middle school, and then beginning of high school, and then after 10th grade I got them off. Like, my teeth weren't crooked, but I had like a few teeth that I had spacing issues, and I just wanted them to look more nice. So I got that done, and then they put the permanent retainer so my teeth wouldn't shift, which sucks because I had one of my canines shifted anyway. But it's my fault because I didn't wear my clear retainer, because on top of having the permanent retainer, it's only on the top set is on like the front 2 teeth, and then the bottom set is on the front 4. The clear retainer is supposed to cover the rest of them, and you're supposed to continue wearing it, from what my orthodontist told me, forever. Which I thought was kind of stupid, because I just spent like 4 years with braces on. Why do I need to permanently wear a clear retainer when I already have a permanent retainer in my teeth? Or on my teeth, rather. Which, I am gonna have, more than likely, dental surgery in April to remove my wisdom teeth, finally. And I may actually ask them if they can take off my permanent retainers so I can correct that one canine and make my teeth a lot straighter and prettier. Like, they're already straight, but I want them to, I don't know. It irks me that there's the space between the one after 4 years of wearing braces, and then I have to refix this. Like, they're straight. They look nice. I just want them to look better. Who knows? Maybe I'll feel more comfortable smiling in photos once I get my, like, one tooth closer That's like a standard thing for group chats, though. You ought to hear some of the stuff that I hear in JVs. To be fair, mine also get a little questionable. But my group chat is a lot smaller. Like, way smaller. Like, 1, maybe 2 other people. My best friends. One of them is super good boy. Doesn't say anything lewd, typically. And my other friend is... I love him. He will come out of the blue with just like the most outlandish comment. This is my Aquarian friend, by the way, that I've been friends with since 2023. So they were talking about their excursions. Yeah, we've had that situation with one of JV's friends. I will probably occasionally like bring up Ham Ham if JV and I are streaming together. Ham Ham is one of his friends that he games with, and he talks about his lovers, and he uses a not very nice word to describe them, and I'm not gonna use the word because I don't know if it's TOS or not. It's a sticky note. If you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, you might get the reference. Nani? I also have one that's a little bit more questionable than that one. Cookies and milk. I'm gonna take that one off before TikTok temporarily bans my live. I also have this toggle, which I don't get out that often. I used to use it a lot more often. I used it for videos and stuff. I still like my goblin toggle. I'm gonna have to do more with it eventually. But yeah, group chats get a little bit depending on the group chat, depending on the people that you're in there with, and depending on like the vibe. Some group chats are like wholesome and you can talk to friends in there, and then some group chats are just like dumpster fire, throw everything in there but the kitchen sink and kind of just roll with it. And I've had really good experiences with it and also really bad ones. So this is kind of a hard situation for me to talk about on stream, and generally trying to talk about it, period, because of the entirety of that whole situation and friendships and everything. It's a lot of me feeling real dumb, and me at the time being really naive with people and trusting people a lot more than I should have. I had a friend that I was a part of his community on Twitch, and he had... It wasn't only the moderator's fault, I want to like preface that, but I knew that he was going through some stuff, like IRL, like relationship stuff. He was going to college at the time, I think Twitch was his like main source of income, and he was like trying to get more equipment for streams, and he was also trying to fund like starting his VTubing journey and like other things that he was like trying to commission, and also making a truck payment. Well, the truck payment part wasn't until later, but I had spare income. I was working 2 jobs at the time, and one of those jobs I'm not going to explain or even go into because that is a part of my life that I am not in anymore, and I don't like to bring it up because it's moving forward, and I don't do that kind of content anymore. But I used to give him gift subs a lot, and I used to send him money a lot via like donation, or I think I sent him more money on like PayPal and stuff than I did gift subs. But he used to talk about, and this was when his channel was still sort of smaller over on Twitch, and he would talk about how, like, he would talk about viewership and how he didn't know how to get himself out there because at the time, like, he was experimenting with Twitch's notifications. Like, half of his followers weren't getting the notifications that he was live. And he went from being mainly on TikTok over to Twitch, which I did the same thing, but I had a little bit of an easier time doing it. But it's because of the way I did it. He did it completely different. He thought that just because, well, okay, I don't want to assume, but the way that it seemed anyway was that he thought that people would just instantly migrate over, that he wouldn't really have to put any effort because of how much he had grown on TikTok. I can't. I do all the time. It's fine. The purple app. I'll say the purple app. But he was still trying to grow. His goal was to hit partner and get the consistent viewership. So I'd be like, you know what? Here you go. Sprinkle gift sub to make sure that, one, he was able to get what he needed to accomplish what he wanted to do, and also I do that with friends. I do that a lot. I am the gift giver friend, and especially if I know that somebody is struggling financially or mentally, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help somebody in that situation. I have not gotten that same treatment over the years, in which, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and expect for people to do the same. I had two friends that have done that same thing for me, and they are the friends that I talk to on a regular basis. That is my friend Sar and my friend Freckled. They have literally done so much for me, and I am incredibly grateful to both of them. But going back to the streamer situation, one of his mods got a little weird and got really parasocial with me. Kind of started getting pissed off at me for giving him money and started trying to exploit me for money. And just like guilt tripping me on a regular basis. And not only that, she was also trying to force me into a relationship with her. I shit you not, one of the conversations that we had, I was coming back from work one night. It was a late night. I was postal at the time, so I had just gotten done with delivering mail for like 9 hours. And our conversation, she was like asking me, she's like, what are we? I'm like, you're my friend. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say, like, we're friends. I hadn't given her any other indication that there was anything else going on. Like, I wasn't flirting with her. Like, she was bad about self-deprecation and tearing herself down because of a physical ailment that she couldn't help. And she was constantly tearing herself down and talking about, like, nobody would ever date her, blah, 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 blah. I stupidly, of course, made the mistake that, in which it was a joke. And I made the statement following saying it, that I was, you know, JK, I was just, you know, trying to lighten the mood and trying to make her feel better. I said, well, you know what? If I was mentally stable, I'd date you. I was going through a lot at the time, so I joked about that stuff a lot. About, like, my mental health. And it's dark humor. Some people do it, some people don't. But even though I told her, I'm like, you know, I'm just kidding. You know, like, this is just a ha-ha funny to make you feel better. She took it and ran with it. So during this conversation, she's basically telling me, as I'm telling her, I'm like, I see you as a friend. And she's like, yes, but we're more, like, you're more than a friend. Like, you're special. I'm like, ma'am, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm trying to gently let you know I'm not interested in you, and you're refusing to hear this. And then things got really weird after that. I think she got mad because I rejected her. And she kind of got jealous of the friendship that was forming between me and my friend. To the point that she said, like, she openly told me that she was gonna make up something to tell him to get me banned. And the one day, like, I think it was like a couple days after this, we were talking about him, and there was like stuff that he was going through that she knew about and that I knew about. And I was upset about it. I was upset about the way he was being treated and the way that people were talking about it, because he couldn't help the situation. He was getting cheated on, and there was, like, it was, I don't want to air out his dirty laundry, but his ex-girlfriend was an awful person to him and pretty much mentally wrecked him. So we were talking about that in the conversation, and I said I kind of wish that he would just, you know, not have to deal with all that. And I can't remember everything that I said, but I was pretty upset about it, and she could tell that I was upset about it, and I was tired of seeing him hurting, and I was tired of seeing people shit talk him when he would disappear for like a week and a half because he was upset or because he was working on things and trying to rebuild himself. And people would talk about him so bad. And it was so two-faced. It was the same people that would sit in his chat every time he went live, and they would sit there and they would tell him like, oh, I love you, you're so awesome, you're so cool, blah 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 blah. One particular girl in the group, in which I'm gonna get to that in a minute, they would sit there and they would tell him to his face, like in the chat, they would be all like supportive, and then behind his back they would talk about him like he was literal human garbage. And I hated it. He didn't do anything to warrant them talking about him like that. And unfortunately, I think some of his bitterness nowadays stems from people treating him like that. And I don't know if it was for the fact of what other people said about him to them, because I know for a fact that the moderator that I was just, yeah, basically he was being backstabbed. But the moderator, in which she was one of the people that caused that whole situation, as well as his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend would constantly post on like TikTok and would she and I shared some of the same like mutuals, and she would comment and I would be scrolling through, just doing my own thing, doom scrolling the clock app, and I would see like her username and then some statement out beside it, just crap talking him. And I'm like, I know how the situation actually is. Why are you painting him up to be the most awful person? When I tell you this man bent over backwards to please this girl, he spent over $2,000 on a gaming PC and streaming setup so she could start streaming, and then they broke up like, I want to say like a few months later, and he was constantly doing stuff for her. Like, he was spending a lot of money on her, and nothing he ever did was good enough. Which, I mean, love him dearly. He has a tendency to go for spoiled brats. But you didn't hear that. And I didn't say that. Just saying. Not only that, ones that cheat on him. It's stupid. He got the treatment of like the trophy boyfriend a lot. Maybe? I don't really know. So I don't know exactly what I'm doing for the holidays yet. It's all still up in the air. There's a lot of we're trying to decide if we're gonna travel for family, or if family is coming to my house. And there's also like a whole lot of stuff that's gonna happen soon. We've been talking about moving again to like a bigger place. And I'm also getting ready for the fur babies. We dropped off our applications today, and we've got to get in touch with our leasing agent to get the permission to go get the cats. So I'm excited. But yeah, I have no idea. Thanksgiving is like just really up in the air. I've thought about some of the stuff that I want to make for Thanksgiving, but in terms of like what I'm gonna be doing. I have no clue. I may stream a little bit, I may not. It just depends on where I'm at in the world. Obviously, if I'm out of town, I'm probably not gonna stream, but I will try to do like scheduled content. But I don't know. Might commission some art, we shall see. But going back to the whole moderator situation. TLDR, people sabotaged him a lot. The same person that sabotaged him on a regular basis tried to sabotage me, and I got just fed up with it, and I started telling him about it, and I screenshotted things and sent them to him and told him like, hey, this is going on. I can't stay quiet about this anymore. It's pissing me off, and it's gotten to this point. And I told him at the time, I was like, at this point, if you want to remove me, please remove me so I don't have to, you know, there's no explanation to be had or anything like that. One of the people that was another community member who got pissed off and jealous as hell anytime that I would gift him or send him money because she did it for attention. I tried to do it in a way, like I started trying to do it anonymously, but he still knew it was me. And even when I told him, don't say anything, like don't even acknowledge it, just like accept it and move on, he still announced it. If I'm not mistaken, I think he, like, because he knew my IRL name. So there was like one particular night that I remember, like he said my IRL name under his breath because he knew it was me, and I'm sitting there like, you dingus, what happened to like the conversation that we had, the agreement that you weren't gonna acknowledge the fact that I just sent that? I would always try to do it like very start of stream, or like before he went on, so I wouldn't like distract from him trying to do his intro, or I would wait until there was like a break in the game, or like toward the end, so he wouldn't like have to break dialogue or anything like that. But oh my god, would this one girl get pissed off? The moderator and this community member that he had both would sit there and like, I'm gonna take your wallet away from you if you keep on spending money, blah 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 blah, which ticked him off as much as it ticked me off. And the other community member, I'll get into her whole situation. So the group chat where everything went down, she had like 3 different group chats that all of us were in. She had one that was just, I think it was called the Queens server. That was me, the moderator, her, and 2 other community members. There was a community member and their sister who also became a community member eventually. That was the server that most of the crap talking took place. That was all they ever did in there, was talk garbage. The other group chat had a lot more people and had a current community member who is still a pretty good friend of mine, who I will not mention for the sake of her privacy. And the fact that she is still one of his community members and is still active in there, I'm not going to out her. Because as far as anybody in his community is concerned, she and I have no correlation. Even though she is also part of my community. But what people don't know. Anyway, fast forward, this whole situation kind of went up in flames. I got tired of it, told him about it. Things got hairy. They were messaging me every day because I stopped communicating in the servers. I was only talking to him. Wasn't talking to them at all. They were like, what are you, like, where are you at? Why are you not talking? Like, what's going on? This is after the whole weird conversation had taken place and everything. I was super uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. And I told him, I'm like, I don't know what I should do. Like, I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to her. Like, I want to distance myself. And then there was a whole conversation going on. And I had mod privileges in that server. There was a whole lot of stuff going down, and there was speculation regarding he and I that was said, and I don't know if I ever told him about that part of it, but I told him, like, it's bad, like, this is nuts, like, I'm getting pretty much harassed at this point, because I had like 20 plus messages back to back from her and other members of the server asking me, like, why wasn't I talking? Was something going on? And I broke and I messaged him. And this is the part that gets really hard for me to talk about. Because part of me feels like it was my fault. Like, I don't know for sure, but the time would have been, I don't know if what happened was because I texted him, or if somebody else texted him, or if he was just distracted with everything going on. I don't know. But he got into a car wreck that day and got banged up pretty bad. I freaked out when he told me. He was pissed off. He was stressed out. I told him what was going on, and then he broke it to me that he was in the wreck. And I had nightmares about it. I'll put it that way. Following like the weeks that happened after that, I had nightmares. Because I felt like it was my fault that he was in that state of mind because of everything going on. I don't think I ever discussed that with him. I think I intentionally kept that from him. But he lashed out hard. I mean, full on crash out because of the way that they were acting. And I added him to the server so he could, in his words, say his piece, or rather, I think he said speak his mind. He either said speak his mind or give them a piece of his mind. I can't remember. I just remember the part where he said something about, like, a piece of his mind. Like, he wanted to basically go in there and say, okay, what the hell? He wanted to confront them for the way that they were acting and what they were doing. He saw all their messages. what's messed up is one of the people that was supposed to be his friend, that was also a supposed friend to his ex, thank you. Nobody's ever told me that before. But this person that was supposedly his friend, which I have my own issues with them, it is very, very bad things that I may talk about on here eventually, especially as it gets closer to December. But this person was sitting in there telling him, hey, you need to calm down. You need to stop. Like, you don't need to lash out on people. And he wasn't lashing out. Like, he wasn't cursing or anything. I mean, he handled it, like, very maturely. At least I think he handled it very maturely. Like, he confronted people. He held them accountable for their actions. And he basically was like, you know, like, holding them accountable for doing the two-faced stuff, holding the moderator accountable for their actions and what they were doing to me and other community members. Like, everything that he said in there was well warranted. So the person that was supposedly his friend, who, to be honest, wasn't at all, just sitting in there telling him, like, oh, you're overreacting, you need to calm down, blah, 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 blah. This same person, like 3-4 weeks after this, and when a conversation took place when we were getting ready to go to a convention together, he was not present. He was where he lives, and stupidly I agreed to carpool with some individuals that I never should have gone with. It was a lesson learned. That I should have never, ever trusted them at all. I went against my gut. I trusted him. I felt safe with him. I didn't feel safe with them. The other 3 people that were there did not at all. And I'm not gonna get into it right now. I can't handle it right now. But that person in that conversation where the 3 of them and I were sitting in the person who is human dumpster fire, that is as tactful as I can get about them. Human dumpster fire tried to act like they had no idea that conversation ever took place, despite being in there telling him that he needed to calm down and he needed to, you know, not be in there and confronting people, blah blah blah. But in front of his now ex-girlfriend was like, yeah, I had no idea, this is the first I've heard of this. While I'm literally sitting there looking at them like, Blitch, you were there. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that the other day. Thank you for reminding me. But I think ultimately, like, he did find out about that other person being really two-faced, because I don't think they're friends anymore. Which, if that's the case, I'm glad he cut them off, especially after what they did to me. And I guarantee you, they probably did if not to the same caliber of messed up to him, at least close. But yeah, long story short, some group chats can be good, some group chats can be absolute garbage. You gotta be careful with who you get close to. You think, like, when you join a community, you're gonna have people that share common interests and are like-minded to a degree. But then you also see the other side of people that are doing things for their own gain. There were at least 3 or 4 people that I actively knew were trying to get close to him for either reasons of trying to gain a following on Clock app or Purple app, and or trying to sleep with him. And it sucked because I actually genuinely cared about him. He was my friend. And I had to watch people treat him like that. Treat him like he was a piece of meat. Treat him like he was nothing more than just a way for them to gain numbers. Sure thing. What's your question? What's the Clock app? The Doom Scroll app? The TikTok. I also call it the Clock app sometimes. Yeah, if I ever refer to the Clock app, just assume I'm talking about TikTok. And for Purple app, it's Purple app. That friendship is just, it's a cluster luck of a lot of unresolved things. I miss him a lot. Because there was a whole lot of drama and sabotage that was done by other people in order to cause that friendship to end. Not to mention the information that I know that I'm not supposed to know, but I know. While we were on that trip, little bit of juicy deets here. While we were on that trip, headed toward the convention, I had confirmed that his ex-girlfriend was cheating on him, and I got put in a very awkward situation because I had already discussed with him in like a prior conversation between he and I on Discord that I wasn't gonna cross boundaries. Like, there were just certain things that I wasn't gonna talk to him about, or that I wasn't gonna ask or pry about, because it was none of my business. That if he wanted to tell me, then he would tell me. And one of the things that I didn't want to really talk about was relationship. Mine or his. But I also knew what he was going through, and we had all kind of found out about her cheating in the July before the event, and then there was an accusation made against him in October, that supposedly he was. I don't think he was, but I know things. I know there was somebody that was trying to get him to break up with ex-girlfriend to get with him, and that's a whole situation and a half, because what it came into, we're not gonna go into it, okay? We're not gonna go into that part, but he could have made better decisions, but that's neither here nor there for me to talk about. Yeah. It depends on the topic. There's like so much that happened. I can talk about it for hours on end. But, so like we knew that she was cheating, and knew that she was either cheating around October or cheating, like, actively since they worked things out, supposedly. We had made a pit stop in somewhere in Alabama. I know the town, but I'm not gonna name it. Or, I mean, I don't know anybody there. So we made a pit stop in Mobile, Alabama, of all places, for like a rest stop for a gas station and like restroom break. 2 of them went in before me. She was one of them. She was on like FaceTime or phone call. If I remember correctly, I think it was FaceTime. Prior to this, I think it was like 45 minutes to like maybe an hour before that, he had called to like see where we were all at, to see when he needed to leave to meet us where the convention was being held. And I was giving him crap because we had talked about all playing Mario Kart together, so I was giving him like playful banter because this was just normal thing for he and I. We would debate, we would like playful jab, and I told him, I'm like, I hope you're ready for me to kick your butt in Mario Kart, blah 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 blah. And when we went to the gas station and she was talking very, how do I put it? I thought she was talking to him. The way that she was talking, I thought she was talking to him. If you know what I mean. She was talking to somebody like she was dating them, like she was, like her tone of voice and was what she was saying, and I'm pretty sure she told whoever it was on the other line, I love you. And I was passing. I didn't even, I wasn't trying to butt in the conversation, but friend of that one said something to the person that was on the phone. So I, like, that right there, when they communicated, I thought, okay, I had mentioned the Mario Kart thing again. I was like, I hope you're ready. Like, and they both looked mortified at me. And I was confused for a second. And then I looked at, brain automatically looks down at screen. I'm like, that's not him. And, like, my second thought is, who the fuck is that? And I just kind of stood there kind of dumbfounded for a minute. And then the dumpster fire human comes over, like, around the ex-girlfriend, places their hands on like each side of my arms and opens the bathroom door and like pretty much kind of pushes me out of the bathroom. I just walked back to the car, sat down, and kind of was just like, what do I do? That just happened. It was quiet in the car for a while after that. I shit you not. I was sitting there with my Discord open to our DMs, hovering over the freaking keyboard, trying to figure out what to say and trying to figure out if I should say anything. Because of one, I didn't want to cross that boundary. I didn't want him to feel awkward or upset, and I didn't want to be, in a situation where I would have been stranded out in the middle of nowhere if they got pissed off for me telling him, and, I'm out in the middle of nowhere to go, absolutely nobody, out in the middle of banjo music territory, and I didn't know what to do. I felt like a shitty friend, but I also was I was trying to look out for my safety. I felt so uncomfortable. And I started kind of losing my marbles a little bit. I was paranoid. I felt like a shitty friend. For not telling him. And that weighed heavy on me. I couldn't look him in the eye. Every time we crossed paths, every time we were in the same room and we would have conversations, they were very short. And something else that was weird about that, so we were never around each other for very long because somebody was either pulling him away or either pulling me away. Because I think they were also paranoid that I was gonna tell him. So I was just kind of, I don't even know how to put into perspective where my mindset was at. I was torn between two things of trying to figure out if I told what is gonna happen, am I gonna be able to get home safely? And that's before all of the bad stuff happened. I never told him. I never got the chance to tell him. A lot of other messed up stuff happened to me during that trip. And those 3 people that were also on that trip with he and I basically covered up some things that happened to me and also did some really messed up petty crap towards me. I still have the text messages on my phone. I still have everything archived. Screenshots. Phone call logs. I mean, it's not like they can hide the fact of what they did. The only thing that has kept them as unscathed as they are is the fact that I didn't publicly lash out when I could have and should have. Instead, I left, I went home, and I healed. It took a long time for me to heal, and there's certain parts of that whole situation that I'm not healed from. Because I lost a friend who I loved very dearly. Still do. that person was one of the very few people that I have ever been able to have like a just straightforward conversation with where we were leveled. He would say things like it is, and I am very much that type of person. I am very much a say it as it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If I come to you for advice, I expect that same kind of treatment. Like, don't baby me. Don't try to, like, tell me, well, you know, if you do blah, 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 blah. No. I don't want the runaround. I want straightforward. That and just general overall, like, life things that we would talk about, or just community stuff. Like, it was nice. We were friends. Granted, the whole, like, image of that kind of got ruined because of other people making assumptions and speculation. It was very much platonic. But I miss him, and I never quite got the closure that would have come from talking about all that stuff. I acted petty after it all happened, and I shouldn't have done that. And I should have been straightforward with him about everything that happened and what was said. But I didn't. And that's on me. I can sit here and hope that one day that we're able to talk about things like adults and get to the center of everything. I don't expect an apology from him. He didn't do anything to me. And the way he reacted was kind of, I don't fault him for that, because to be fair, he hadn't known me nearly as long as he knew the dumpster fire human, and the other person that he was getting his information from was the person that he was dating, who was actively trying to sabotage his friendships with other people besides mine. I was not the first friendship that he ended up losing because of her. Apparently there was like a whole group of people that he ended up losing because of the ex-girlfriend. Like, she was so awful. Between the isolation and also, like, she would constantly try to get his community against him. And I don't want to make any kind of assumption on this, but to be fair, I think history repeats itself, and I hope he doesn't end up going through that again. But if he does, I hope that he takes that as like a learning experience to not let people in like that. Like, relationships wise, I'm pretty private about all that stuff. And typically he always was. They're kind of, and I know this has like been a debate with like VTubers here lately about whether you should talk about the fact that you're in a relationship or not. I don't feel comfortable talking about that. I don't feel comfortable talking about the fact of whether or not I'm in a relationship. I don't post on socials of whether or not I'm in a relationship. I did for a while, but then I started getting this sense of just uncomfortability, and plus there was people, certain ones specifically. I had a weird ex that was stalking me. This was the same one that started VTubing and was stealing my art. He was stalking my Twitter and all of my socials. He was stalking an ex-girlfriend that I dated, who was one of my friends now, and we didn't want him stalking my partner, following her. So I stopped posting about my relationships. I did not want to subject anybody else to being stalked. I did not want to subject anybody else to a bunch of questions from people they don't know, asking about the relationship, asking about how we were doing. People get real weird on the internet. I've had some strange questions in my telenet that are asking about like relationship stuff and asking me like really personal questions, and I'm like, I act kind of like a jerk about it. I'm like, I'm gonna answer this as stupid as possible. One question in particular, hold on, I'm gonna break my tracking for just a sec so I can pull this up. I have like a constant question almost every few days of somebody asking me like, what am I thinking about? Who am I thinking about right now? And then a day ago, I got asked about my friend. I got asked, are you better off without your ex-friend? Which I got pissed off about it. And I said, I don't know what you mean by better off. We have both continued living our lives and chasing our own adventures. I'm sure we both had wins and losses. I don't have a sense of arrogance with the I'm better off without him. It's immature, and when we both walked away, it hurt. I'd like to make amends if he and I had the time to. We are two very busy people, and he and I both are on like the cusp of our 30s. We're kind of at a point in our lives where it's like, either you do make amends or you don't. But then I also went into the fact that he and I both have goals that we're working towards for like the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, and for the entirety of 2026, because I know he's working on a lot of stuff. I'm working on a lot of stuff. So if we do happen to ever talk about things, that's, you know, neither here nor there. I have a lot of questions on here asking about my ex. I'm assuming referring to the Psycho Stalker one. Which, for all I know, the one asking the questions about my ex is probably the Creepo ex. If I had to make an educated guess, that'd be weird. Y'all don't even understand. One of these days, I'll do a yap session just based on that relationship alone. I'll put it like this. One of the most traumatizing things that I experienced with him, we were in the middle of an argument. I was trying to leave my house. My ex was trying to keep me from leaving the house. He blocked both doors. I ended up, because he was a short, kind of stubbier dude, I outran him. I got around him. I got out the door with my keys, hopped in my car. This man bursts out of my house, boot naked, and jumped on the hood of my car in front of neighbors and all. And it's not like I didn't have a fence at the time. Where I lived, like, my neighbors were like a stone's throw away. So, yeah, I ended up threatening the Psycho Stalker ex that if he didn't get his little naked self off my car, I was gonna call the cops. That was bad. I should have left him like long before I did. But anytime I talked about leaving him, he would talk about staying in the area. So I was trying to get him as far as humanly possible away from me. So when he ended up going off to his 4-year university, he had to move away. Like, he had to move like several hours away. So as soon as he moved out, like, there was a couple days where I was kind of taking a moment to like make the decision mentally. I'm like, all right, this is over. Like, I feel so much better now that he's not living here. Like, I can breathe. I stopped responding to his texts as much. And then Labor Day weekend came. He made a point to tell me that he was coming down to see his family. By this point, I had already kind of been pulling back like a lot and was telling him like I'm busy, which it was true. I was very busy and I was emotionally checked out. I sat and tried to explain to him in a conversation one night before this all happened, like, you know, you're out there, the things that you want I can't give. You have a lot more opportunity to meet somebody out there that can give you those things. And there was like a 5-year age gap between he and I. So, and I told him, like, you know, you can find somebody closer to your age that has the same, like, wants that you do. Like, I've already experienced all the things that you want, and I don't want to go through that again, and can't go through some of them. And frankly, he was pushing for marriage, and I did not want to marry him. He was pushing for children, and he couldn't even take care of himself. So my mental note on all that was like, yeah, no thank you. And bro was like already talking marriage within like the first few weeks of us dating. Like, me making stinky mistake of staying in that relationship. Yes, I know, it was such a red flag. He was showing off pictures of me and my family members to people that would come into the vape shop where he worked. It was so uncomfortable. I shouldn't have ever dated him. Like, within that second week of dating, when all that's like happened with him talking marriage and then showing the pictures off that he was getting off of my Facebook and everything, I should have just ran away. I literally used him as a rebound. Like, I will openly admit, I used the Psycho Stalker as a rebound because I was sort of heartbroken-ish prior to him. Mars Rover has a friend coming to Mars. For reals? What are they gonna name it? I'm fine with this topic change, by the way. I'm done talking about like the sad Delilah lore. Like the IRL lore, not the Not the cool lore. The cool lore's nice. There's sad parts in the cool lore, but IRL lore is just a mess. I am quite literally a hot mess. It's okay though. I'm working on putting it together. I've made a lot of progress in the past couple of years. Mars Artemis rover. His name is Artemis. I love that. That's so cute. I love Greek names. It's cool. I keep on trying not to cough on stream. I think I'm getting sick. All this hot, cold weather is destroying me. But no. Like, as far as, like, life stuff goes, I'm pretty happy with, like, the changes that I've made. I've been sober for 2 years now. So I no longer partake of alcohol at all. Not even on social occasions. I think the only thing that I have done in regards to alcohol, I have cooked with it. And the dishes that I have cooked with it, the alcohol completely cooks out. It's more of just for a flavoring. So, bonus points for that. Also have stayed on top of my mental health. My physical health is another story. I'm working on that one. I got some stuff going on and doctors are trying to figure it out. So that one, hopefully we will get taken care of. I am also going back to school. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it. I'm going for a different degree than what I already went into. I'm excited. I'm excited and also nervous. But, I'm excited to see where that road takes me. I know what I'm planning for over the next 5 years. Getting all my ducks in a row. But I'm happy with the progress that I've made, and I know, like, I have a clear goal of what's next. And that makes me really happy. On a side note with that, some of those goals I gotta be making in silence. I will let y'all know as they happen, like once I hit those milestones. But because of certain people that try to keep tabs on me, that I don't want to keep tabs on me, I gotta be quiet about it. Not gonna be. So when I did drink, I was never really much of a beer drinker. I was more of a wine and wine coolers and shots. A lot of vodka. There was a lot of vodka, a lot of gin. Whiskey was a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I would drink it. I think my main whiskey was like a honey whiskey. But a majority of the time, it was wine for me. And it got, like, I've been transparent about this before. Like, I've talked about my struggles with alcoholism. It got excessive around when I was 17. I went into college early. Some stuff happened while I was at college. I used alcohol as a coping mechanism. I drank a lot in college. I drank a lot after college. But I came back from my freshman year and I moved into my mom's house And I had moved several states away from my home state because my mom wasn't from there and she divorced my dad and moved back home. So I moved to basically get away from home and also make sure she was okay, and to kind of avoid my own problems. I was getting the cheap, like $6 wines on a regular basis. I would drink at least 2 every night, and then it got to the point over the course of a few months where I was day drinking as well. So I went from a point of going through things to not having a single moment sober. I went through periods where I would slow down a bit, but I would never really stop. And when I would go through not so great situations, I would start up again and it would get excessive and then it would become a problem. And not in the regards of, like, I was never violent, but I was not there. I was not present. There's a whole section of time that I couldn't tell you, like, anything about because I don't remember. I don't remember a whole lot of when I was 18. I don't remember a whole lot of when I was 19 or 20. The only thing that I remember from like 20 was when I had a major surgery where a mass was removed from my stomach. Because I went in for what I thought was a ruptured appendix, and it ended up being a mass on my stomach. Which is also the story how I ended up missing most of my pancreas. I only have like a little bit of my pancreas left, so I have a lot of sugar issues and stomach issues. Yay me. But that whole period of time is just kind of a blurb. And I did okay for a while, and then it started again. So, okay. I don't know, because I think I removed my link because of like PayPal on Stream Elements doing the IRL name, so I think I disconnected it. I do have my Ko-fi, or Ko-fi, however you want to pronounce it. Or I also have my Throne account. Those are, like, I think the only 2 active ways that I have. But you don't have to donate. I just have them up there just for, like, for whatever, because other people have, like, their donation links, and it's like, I don't know, it's there. But you don't have to if you don't want to. I feel bad when people do. I don't know why. I'm always like the worst at accepting gifts. I
like giving gifts. Receiving gifts, on the other hand, I just feel bad. But going back to like the whole like drinking thing, I think so after the events had happened at that convention, I stopped drinking for a while. I stopped, I think it was, sorry, I had a big yawn. I think it was like July of 2021. If I'm right in thinking, I think it was July of 2021. I'm about to, so I'm gonna assume you're talking about like the cat stuff in the Throne account. So that is to go toward the fur babies. The 2 cats that I'm about to adopt, I've put little stuff for them on my throne. Which I've still got to find out. We meant to ask earlier today, but I forgot to. I need to ask what food they currently feed them. Because I know if you like switch up foods on cats or dogs, like sometimes it can upset their stomach. So I need to find out, because I don't know if they're strictly wet food or if they're dry food. I've been doing a lot of like relearning how to be cat parent, because my cat that I adopted when I was about 16, 17, he's old now. He's no longer a kitten. He pretty much just chills, hangs out on my mom's couch. He is acclimated to my mom's house, which is why he lives down there. My mom still refers to him as my son. But he essentially, like, he kind of got attached to my mom and stepdad. But with the 2 that I'm about to adopt, they are kitten. Like, they're both, like, not even a year old yet. So I've got to go through, like, in which they're litter box trained, so that's not going to be an issue. But, you don't really train cats. Like, cats, you don't train. Like, cats are cats. They do what they want to do. But they kind of like develop their personality in like that first like 1 or 2 years. You don't have to do that. I appreciate that, but you don't have to do that. But thank you so much. No lie though, earlier today, because I was showing JB the cat tree, because we were trying to decide on color, and we had looked at some locally, and they were just so much shorter. And I was talking to a coworker earlier today, and they were saying, like, you need to get one that's taller because they like to climb. And I don't remember TJ ever, like, climbing that much. Like, he definitely climbs on the back of the couch, but he's not bad to, like, climb on top of furniture. Like any really high places, he doesn't like that. He's mostly my antisocial to generally everybody but me, my mom, and my stepdad. he kind of tolerates my stepdad. But he was my grumpy boy. I'm sorry to hear that. I think I have only ever had one pet run away, and it, like, they technically weren't mine. And which, this is actually twice, same person. And also both twice, technically not mine. Somebody who I will only refer to as the Flying Purple People Eater. So he had this border collie that he would pretty much, like, he would let her out and then he would fall asleep on the couch. And this is also some foreshadowing. One night after I got off work, he had, he called me. He couldn't find her. He had been out looking for her. We ended up finding his dog 2 or 3 blocks away from the house because he had just... I'm so sorry. That is so sad. But we ended up finding her, and everything was fine for a while. And then I want to say it was like maybe 4 months after that, his brother had Shepsky puppies. And I love Shepskys. I like Huskies, I like Shepherds. I like them as a breed, yes. Caring for them is kind of hard for me because I cannot lift them. Again, small human and also heart problems. I also like bulldogs. I don't think there's a single, like, honestly, I don't think there's a single, like, breed of dog or cat that I don't like. I even like the ones that other people, like, don't care for, like the Chinese crested, I think it's what they're called, like the ones that are like mostly like hairless except for like the little fuzz on the top of their head. Like, I think they're cute. I also have had people that tell me they don't like Sphinx cats because they think Sphinx cats look like aliens. I'm like, I think they're adorable. It's like a little rotisserie chicken. It's a rotisserie chicken with a cat head. And I love them. They're adorable. There's a cat on the clock app. This lady has all these different cats. One of them is named Nicki Minaj. Another one is named Nudicrous. The one that I like the most, the sassy boy, is Nudicrous. I love Sphinx cats. My boys are not Sphinx cats though. The 2 that I'm getting, they're brothers. They are a bonded pair. They're from the same litter, and we're adopting them from a local shelter. They are still very small. They are, I want to say tabby, but I don't think tabby. I'd have to look up their breed again. But they have, like, they're the brown and gray with like the brown and black stripes. And then they have little spots on their bellies. we went and saw them today, and both of them were really sleepy today. I think it's because of like the weather. All the cats were kind of just chilling, and we were sitting there petting the boys, and they were both doing stretches. And then Simon, the one that first approached us, he was stretched all the way out, but he was laying on his back with his like arms stretched up and his paws up. And when we were petting his belly, and he kept on like he would occasionally like meow, but it was like a squeaky meow, and we couldn't tell if it was because he was trying to sleep and we were bothering him, or if it was when we stopped petting him, because anytime we stopped petting him he would do it. And then Sammy is his brother. Sammy is the one that I am more attached to, because Sammy approached me first. It was a very hard decision, because they chose us. They wholeheartedly chose us, and I was also like very fond of them, but I was also kind of like, there was another cat there that was a little bit older than them that I was kind of attached to. And after reading his story, I really wanted to bring him home. And we were originally going to bring Simon and the other cat home, but then I noticed like Sammy also had like similar patterning to Simon, and I asked, like, is he a part of a bonded pair? And they said yes, he's bonded with his brother. So that kind of broke my heart a little bit, because we decided to go with the two brothers. If I could, if I just absolutely could, I would get the third boy, because the one was so sweet and he was constantly loving on me. But if you don't know, when a cat is a bonded pair, it's kind of dangerous to kind of split them up. Even if you bring another cat into the home, if you split up a bonded pair, it can result in like health problems. Like they can become lethargic, they can stop eating because like they get sad, they've lost their other half. So I made it a point to I didn't want to split up the boys, so we decided to get the brothers. But eventually, if the other cat is still there after we get the babies situated and get them like acclimated to our house and everything, I may, if I'm able to, I may go back for the older boy. So my family might be growing by 3 instead of 2. But again, that's all depending on like a lot of things. Mainly just like the size of the house we're in. because I want them to have plenty of room to like roam and play. In which, I mean, like I said, like we're moving soon-ish. Probably, if I had to guess, wouldn't be until after the first of the year. And that's mainly because one of my family members that's close to me is having a major surgery in the end of January. I'm also looking at a potential surgery around the same time of year. So 2 people in recovery at the same time is gonna be a lot on top of trying to move. But I don't know, possibly March, April at the latest. We're supposed to go talk to the leasing agent within like the next few days and get an estimate on a bigger place. And we're gonna look at a few places. We kind of have in mind already the one that we want, but we shall see. It is getting late though, so I am going to raid out for the night.
Thank you so much for joining and watching me die repeatedly on Fallout and listening to me yap. I appreciate it more than y'all will ever know. That being said, I am gonna start looking at other games to play. I'm kind of taking a break from like Stardew right now, but I may end up going back to it for a bit. Let's see. What did I just... Okay, there it goes. Do we want to drop into some Phasmo? I cannot stop coughing. I think we might have a raid target. I see they're playing Silent Hill. I think. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and post that raid message. If you would like to copy it, feel free to do so. I may or may not be live in here tomorrow night, just depending on how I'm feeling. If I still feel sick, might pass. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna end it here. I don't think I'm gonna do a raid tonight. Yeah. I'm gonna go for the eeps. But a good night and good vibes. And depending on where you are in the world, good morning and good vibes. Start your day off with the best vibes. And also a breakfast. Do not skip the breakfast. And hydrate. This is not a request. Do as I say, not as I do. Drink the water. Don't do the bad. Don't make your kitchen entirely smell like chai coffee. Or not coffee, but chai latte. And then not have any way to make a chai latte.
Alright, I can make a chai latte, I just don't want to right now. It's too late and I've already had my caffeine of the day. But anyway. Good night.